There we go again. Yes, ready to partake of this deliciousness, this delicious meal. And why? Because we want to grow, we want to know, we want to be. And we are, yes, we want. No, we are being, we are growing, we are tasting, we are already doing those things. So, yes. Perhaps the only thing is we want to realize that we truly are. Okay. So, are you ready to dig in deep once more? Just say yes. Okay. Because I am ready to dig in deep once more. Let's just dig in. Let's just dig in. Okay. So, we are now embarking. Oh, before we do, let's call on um uh, the high priest Aaron. The high priest Aaron, if you have been watching my videos, you will see that I have been in wonderful dialogue with Aaron, the high priest, and I'm calling also on the angels, angels, of course, angels. Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Raphael, um, and as well, I must say I'm not doing this consciously because I had not. I was wanting to invite the gods as well, but I feel now it is very appropriate, especially for Archangel Raphael, to bring a lot of healing about. And Archangel Raphael has been just really instrumental through my healing. I can really vouch for, having speedy recovery and speedy healing, total healing through Archangel Raphael. So call upon the angels by all means, because we are going through times where we need, where it's required for us to really use those helpers around us. And the gods of the 14 gods, the god of creation, the god of causation, the god of calling, the God of calling, and the God of movement, the God of making, the God of endings, and the God of division, the God of planting, the God of breath, the God of blessings, and the God of, I've said the God of endings, the God of settings, the God of soaring and sight, and the God of sayings, meaning of words. And I feeling that and the God of division, have I said the God of division? I feel like there is still another God that I probably have not mentioned, the God of settings. Did I say settings? Okay. The God of formation, the God who forms. Okay. So the God of formation. So I'm calling on those gods to help us understand how their makeup. When we are open to understanding their makeup, then they can work harmoniously with us. So basically, it's like, for instance, we have all different aspects of ourselves. Oh, and that needs healing and that needs order. Right now, this is what we need in our lives. We need order. We need order. We need discipline. We are required to really of course, work with the God of division, because the God of division right now is really saying to us, okay, like I did yesterday, for instance, you haven't worn that skirt for a year. Now it's time to get rid of it. In as much that as it costs over £100, you need to get rid of it. You need to really go through your wardrobe basically and see everything you don't need, your shoes, whatever it is you don't need, and more so, the mindset that you do not need to carry. It won't work for you anymore. The way you think, the way you've been doing things won't work for you anymore. There's a time for everything, and this time, in fact, the word time, okay. Yes. So Aaron is really coming through and he's saying, look, we are meant to be doing the cross and you're about to do time. Okay. So basically, yes, Aaron, I have done this on part one of the cross, and we have seen the cross is our news. Thank you. So I had this dialogue with Aaron and he's saying, just be, you know, He's really asking me as well, have you really paid attention to your physiology? And I said, well, yes, sometimes I go in the mirror and I look at myself and I spread, one arm here, one arm there, and my head and my feet, and I see, yes, that is the cross. So he's saying, well, that is your north, south, east, and west. I'm not saying yes, but actually it really coincides with the sacrifice template, the sacrifice template, which has news in the middle of it, and that's what the high priest Aaron really wants us to really look at. And of course, we had done cross, which comes to 20, and this is where Aaron and his speciality, because he's 22, his numerical value, we should say his expression number is 22. So if you're into numerology, you probably know about astrology and expression number as well. So we would say his expression number is 22, meaning it's a master number. But the number 22 also is the number of perfect intuition, meaning especially for a man, according to David Phillips, I think I've got the word, I hope I've got the word right, that he says like it's in there. Oh, it's right here. Oh, very good, David Phillips. So basically for a male, it is important to have this 2 in their numbers or their natal chart somehow, and so that gives perfect intuition. On the other hand, a female only needs one, just like it was with Sarah. Sarah had 20 for her name when it was changed. Now, okay, so Aaron is saying to me that let's just compare all of those numerical values and see how it is for a female, see how it is for a male. And I was saying, of course, I did a presentation on Sarah where she was 21, and he says, well, what do you think 21 is? I says, well, they said, well, 21 days, you could set a habit in 21 days or break a habit in 21 days. Well, perhaps it's no wonder after 21, God really came and changed her name to Sarah, and she was 20. But I was thinking in money terms, why give her one less? Aaron was really having a laugh, and I said, when I said that, I says, well, because it really bothered me, I'm thinking like, and he says, well, this is when it is said more, less is more, because now she was getting more, meaning she was going to have a son, and I understood that. Okay, so basically, with cross, going back to cross, Aaron is saying, we need to actually see how the word cross is laid out in the template as well. And he also, in the first part, had showed us how the middle letter equals 6. 6 is the number of man. He's reminding me 6 is the number of man. So basically, we are in the middle. And on one side, of course, we have this 1, which is like Jesus Christ, because when you do the numerical value for Jesus, it's like 11. Jesus was had a master number 11. And here we would have 3 plus 9, which is 12, and that would be 3. So 3 plus 2, just looking at it like this, would be 5. So basically, on the crosshair, Aaron is really getting us to look very closely. What does the cross really mean to you? What carrying your cross really, or bearing your own cross really means? Yeah, and he's saying that cross is not just about what we see or what we have been taught as in Jesus Christ carrying that cross, which is like a little bit like, as we have seen, but you carrying yourself. And basically, okay, and what Aaron is saying, carrying your own salvation, or really working your own salvation, is your cross. Working your own salvation is your cross. So and I'm saying, well, what does our working our salvation really entail? He's really saying that we need to, again, as he says, begin with the decluttering that I've just mentioned, begin with really having a vision, to having yourself elevated and enlightened, and like even in some cases where one would call it like having your kundalini activated, having a rebirth, having some kind of spiritual intervention to helping you to realize that you are more than you think you are. Okay. So Aaron is also saying that we need to really take stock of our own actions and of our thoughts in particular. Our thoughts in particular. There's a lot of emphasis on the thoughts. And he's saying it's like we need to go back and remember who we are. And I'm saying, well, okay, how do we go about remembering who we are? He's saying it's like being a child again. It's really like being a child again. You know, you played in the dirt, you did things, okay. And he's also saying it's like now you have become so disconnected that you have bought you have worn shoes to protect your feet, you have worn gloves to protect your hand, now you're wearing mask to around your mouth to protect your mouth. He's saying what else are you needing to do to understand that you need to go back to Mother Earth. This is what Aaron is saying, and I think I'm really understanding this. So he's saying this is why as well that he had to be Moses's mouthpiece, and because Moses, of course, had a speech impediment, okay, and he had this. In fact, Aaron, you need to really help me here in the pronunciation as well because you were the mouthpiece. Okay, so and he's saying that it's no wonder yes, actually this is funny. So he's saying that this is why God said to Moses to take off your shoes because this is holy ground, and this is what he's really getting us to do. He's saying to us, this is what we really supposed to be doing. We are supposed to be putting our feet on the bare ground because the ground is holy, and it's really wanting our the pulsation of our heartbeat, of our pulses, to really ignite itself, to reverberate, and to get back to restoration. Oh, this is so wonderful. This is so touching. Oh my. So basically, and he's saying, of course, putting your feet down, meaning that is also saying that you are planting, but this is south. It's like paying attention to the south. Pay attention to the south. So south is actually 20 as well. Let's just do this. South, South. So 1 6, and I can see why he's saying pay attention to south. Okay, so this is 10, this is 20. So we have seen how 20 is actually it. So he's saying by putting your feet down on the ground, that's when you are setting your template. You're setting a template of a foundation of solidity, of firmness. And he's reminding me, this is why Christ said to Peter, upon this rock, I will build my church. And he's saying the word rock is also 20, which I know. I don't want to seem too blasé and say, yeah, okay, so this is 9 6 3 2. Actually 15 and 5 is 20. So he's saying, yeah, it's also reminded me that even Christ as well, which when Christians say, oh, this is my rock, because Jesus actually equals 11 and 1 plus 1 is 2. So this is really having the same like essence, the same vibration. And he's saying that that is in so many things that we need to look basically. And he's also reminding me about us clearing our chakras, the 7 chakras. Again, this is the word 7. He says Mother Eve is in the middle of 7. Basically, Mother Eve is the 7 chakras as well. So he says, yeah, we need to really concentrate on clearing our chakras and being grounded. There's a lot of emphasis on what we eat and what we take in. Aaron is really saying, because this is what help. He says, you are what you eat, meaning that that may have been something to do with why Moses was not able to speak as well as he should have or could have, because what you put in basically is what you take out in that sense. But there was something that was um, really holding him back in this way. And no wonder that God said to him, take off your sandals. There is a joke, is which I think I did get an inkling of it before, but it says like the sandals as well. When Moses had to bend down to take off the sandals, that meant he had to hold the tongue of the sandals, and the tongue of the sandals was also a representation of the tongue of the mouth as well. And it's reminding me, this is like the serpent. This is a cycle that happened where the serpent was actually biting its tail. So this is a circle of life, a cycle of life. So this is really important to really note. Now back to his reminding me, Aaron is reminding me to really look at the word cross, how it is really laid out in here. So we see the C is actually in this bracket here, or in this column, and C is here in this column, is saying that the cross, it's like it is, no one can escape the cross. No one can escape the cross, because this C in this column is like it's a almost like a gift that was given, but people really have to work it out. And the R, which coincides with the inland revenue, this is where people have to really pay. So people, you start with your luck. It's like your luck is the gift that you have been given, and you need to work it out. And he's reminding me, it's a bit like the parable of Jesus Christ with the 5 virgins, or the people that he gave talents to, that they had to he gave one a talent, or two a talent, and the one who had one talent, he hid it and not really invested it. So basically it was taken away from him. So we all are given talents. Yeah. And Aaron is saying that, yeah, we all are given talents, and we need to work our talents. We need to work our gifts, find it, and not squander it, and really realize that it is there for a purpose, that we are here to contribute to this place. By contributing to this place, we realize our cross, and our cross, in realizing our cross, we also realize the gift, and we are contributing to Mother Earth, and of course to the evolution of our souls. Oh, that's really interesting. And of course, the word soul is actually 13. And so, of course, the soul 13 is like the incubator. So, isn't that a wonderful thing that we could have wonderful things to put in our incubator? Okay. So, then he says, so basically, this is luck. Okay, so this is all luck, Luck, and this is the inland revenue, and this is Fox City, where you add a Fox, and SS, the two S's, one where you doing double jazz, jazz hair. So it's like, this is why he's saying, okay, this basically, it's almost like LIFE. Okay, it almost seemed like it. Um, and yeah, so Aaron is really so I'm saying to Aaron, well, as a female who had a child already and bringing up a child, shouldn't that be enough for us as our cross? And he said, well, you represent the womb that has so much, that has everything else, that is the female that births, that just, it's like your function is to just to birth things, and it doesn't mean like only birthing in the form of children, but birthing ideas, birthing creativity, birthing gifts, and all those kind of things. And he's saying that you are Eve. Essentially, you are Eve. So you are doing what Eve is doing. You know, it's kind of funny that way. Yeah. But he's still saying it doesn't mean that you're yeah, it's really that it's like a child and an adult, but that everyone is carrying their cross according to their size, according to their weight, according to what they are meant to be, do, or have in this lifetime. So I kind of understand it, because sometimes it seemed like okay, so I'm saying, okay, so I'm asking him, basically I'm asking him, well, does that mean are you really saying that I could have much more of a responsibility than somebody else, and that is divinely allocated that way, and it's really like nodding yes. Yeah. So yeah, so we could see how the we have double S here, double S here, which is saying there's a double vibration of the three here, which sets things into motion again. So you have completed a cycle and you are ready to actually be that other cycle. This is something really wonderful that Aaron is just point my attention to. He says the double S is where you are actually carrying the two serpents as the what's the word? Come on, Aaron. Yeah, the like the medical staff or the medicine staff, the cl- the Casidius or something like that. And he's saying this is why a lot of people think that they go for the money. They go for the money because they think that this is what they are meant to do. But the money is like the medicine because carrying your cross bears is saying it's like life cycle, like the course I did, like life, the course of life. Meaning, so he's saying you could see the cross almost like the curse, but it has the S in it. So I can see what he's saying here. I feel I can. Okay, Aaron, you're telling me that so the life course COURSE, it has an S, and you said that this it has a curse. So life has a curse, and of course to get the curse you need the cure. And so you are showing me, of course, we need to go to the core, CORE. So basically, with the okay,